X-intercept. X-intercept, as you will see in mathematics, is simply the point where the graph of an equation cuts the x-axis. At that point, the value of y in the equation is equal to 0. That means y is equal to 0. Now, take a look at the graph here. You can see that at this point, that's the x-intercept, where the graph cuts the x-axis. And at this point, the value of y is equal to 0. We're going to see it in the next description. Now, the point where that graph cuts the x-axis will be represented in the form of ordered pair as bracket x and 0. In other words, any time a graph cuts the x-axis, the ordered pair at that point will be the value of x at that point and then 0, which is the value of y. Now we can take a look at this graph. Example. Now, the equation of this graph, which is, by the way, the graph is a linear graph. That is, the graph is a straight line graph. The graph is a straight line. And being a straight line, it cuts the x-axis at only one point. So the equation of the graph is this. The equation is y is equal to negative x plus 3, or y is equal to 3 minus x. Either way, they're the same. So, now, having said that, and remember, I said that the value of y at the point where the graph cuts the x-axis is 0. So if you want to find that point, looking at the equation, we will say 0, which is now y, is equal to negative x plus 3. So if you solve this equation now, which is we move x over to the other side, and when we move it to the left side, the sign changes to positive. So if we do that, that will give us x will be equal to 3. So the point, the coordinate, the ordered pair for that point, or the coordinate of that point will now be, let me just put it this way, will now be bracket 3, which is a value of x, and then 0, which is a value of y. So in further lessons, we're going to see how to find the value of x. That is, if a graph cuts the x-axis, what will be the value of x from an equation? But this is just the simplest of all. So similarly, if we use this one, the second equation, as y is equal to 3 minus x. Same way, if you want to find the value of x at that point, so what you have to do is you place the value of y to be equal to 0. So we say 0 is equal to 3 minus x. Same way in the first example. So if we move x over to the left side, that will give us x is equal to 3. So the point will be the coordinate of that point will be 3 and 0. Okay, so meanwhile, I don't want you to be confused with this bracket here, this bracket, because I just wanted to separate it. So let me remove it so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, all right. Let's take another example. This time, we are talking about the x-intercept that has occurred twice on a graph. Okay, so you can see this graph is a quadratic graph. The equation is y is equal to x squared minus x minus 2, which can also be represented in a factored form as x plus 1 into x minus 2. So, from this factored form, we can say that the x-intercept occur at x equal to -1 and x equal to 2. So these are the two x-intercepts. And at these intercepts, the values of y are equal to 0. So this is the way it goes for a quadratic function. And we can also have it for a cubic function. But let's just focus on this quadratic. So it means, like I said before, anytime a graph cuts the x-axis, the value of y at that point is equal to 0. So now let's see. Assuming you are given y is equal to x squared minus x minus 2. And you are required to find the x-intercepts. One of the ways is to factor the expression into this form. In that case, that will be x plus 1 into x plus 2. Sorry, x minus 2. So if that's the case, x minus 2 bracket. Now, like we said, anywhere you have a graph cutting the x-axis, the value of y is at that point, 0 at that point. So we make y equal to 0. Let's say this one is equal to 0 is equal to just to save space. I don't have to continue. Let me just save space and just write it here. Y is already equal to 0 here. Therefore, if two factors multiply each other to be equal to 0, it means that one of the factors is equal to 0 or both of the factors are equal to 0. So here, I will say both factors are equal to 0. So we say x plus 1 is equal to 0, comma, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So here, x is equal to -1, and here, x is equal to 2. See? So you see, the x-intercept is at -1 and at 2. So the points will be equal to -1, 0. And here will be 2, 0. So these are the x-intercepts. So look at the graph. This is what it says it is. -1 and 0 and 2 and 0.